everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Shay, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. I have one video on my channel that is popping off oddly, and it's all about Domino's. So I said in that video, if you guys wanted it, that I would do a sit down video and just like kind of talk about what it's actually like to work at Domino's, because I don't see many of those videos, and if I do, they're like a year plus old. If I don't answer any of your guys' questions in this video or on my last video, please comment them down below, because it's kind of hard to think on the spot what everyone would want to know and like what's important to say. The most asked questions I got on my last video was mainly about like pay and stuff, which I'm not going to completely disclose, like just a disclaimer if that's what you want to know. I'm not going to give you exact numbers in this video because it's not the same at every store. Like, I'll give you a general like overview of it all, but being a delivery driver, your income is not consistent at all. So I can't be like, you're gonna get X amount of dollars this month and you're gonna get the same amount next month. Like, it's never really the same. Because like in my state, you have to be at least 18 years old and have your driver's license for 2 years before you can deliver for Domino's. I'm not sure that that's the same everywhere, but that's how it is in my state and what my store goes by, both stores I've worked at. So it is kind of a high turnaround rate job. You can have 2 jobs when you work there. Usually Domino's is really good, especially my store, about being flexible. If you're only available a certain amount of hours, they will only schedule you those hours, but that will affect your pay because not consistently is the same times always the busiest. So it's to make the most amount of money, in my opinion, and have like the best payout of working at Domino's. The best thing is for it to be your only job if you can afford it, and have the flexible hours, because like in the past year and a half that I've worked at Domino's, I've worked all the way from openings to closings. Like, I've worked every shift in between, and I'll tell you, sometimes I make a ton of money opening, sometimes I make a ton of money closing, and it's never the same. Never 2 days are never the same. You're never gonna make the same amount of income. But they are willing to work with like their hours can be very flexible. So it is nice if you only just need some side money or like some side income. Or I've had people ask, like, could a single mom do it when their kids are at school? I would talk to your local stores, because I can't tell you yes or no. I don't know what your store needs. So I would go and talk to your local Domino's. There's plenty of stores in every state. We're a very big company. So I would just go talk to your store with some of the more like local questions that I can't answer. But as far as the pay breakdown, so as a delivery driver, you do get an hourly wage. That's what I got asked a lot. You will get an hourly wage. In store, I make minimum. That's my hourly pay. As soon as I clock out on a delivery, I make $2 below my minimum wage in my state. And the only reason I say that is because I don't know if what I make is a flat rate for all the stores, which I highly doubt. But I think that it'd be about the same at every store, that like when you're in the store, you're going to make minimum for your state. And when you're on the road, you're going to make $1 or $2 below minimum, because your tips compensate for that. So I get paid, like I said, minimum in the store, $2 below minimum when I'm on the road. But I also get gas reimbursements. So at the end of every night, you're going to receive all of your tips. Anything that you get tipped when you are on a delivery, whether it's a cash tip or a card tip, you take home at the end of the night. All of your tips 100% go towards you. You do not get the delivery charge for every order. That goes into a bank for Domino's that pays out our mileage. But it's not guaranteed that you get that full delivery charge, because it's based on how many miles you traveled. And that's where it gets confusing. So we have a lot of customers ask, like, why doesn't my delivery driver get the $2.99 delivery fee? Because sometimes we have orders that are above, with their mileage would be above $2.99, and then there's other orders that are, say, only a mile from the store, and that doesn't equal $2.99. So you're going to get reimbursed, like in my state, I'm not sure what it is everywhere, but in the state I live in, we get reimbursed 31 cents a mile. So it's not very often that I go far enough from my store to get all of that $2.99 back. So you won't get that on every delivery, but you will get what you are tipped, your hourly when you are on the delivery, which is the $2 under minimum wage in my state, and you will get your gas reimbursement for how many miles that you drive. So you have 3 different sources of income, and you get all of it except for your hourly at the end of the night. So all of the hours that you work for your hourly, which is not very much, truthfully, your checks as a delivery driver aren't going to be high. So my paychecks do not make my bills. I have to save all of my tips that I make every single night, and I set those aside until I have enough money to cover all of my bills for the month and then I spend my money for, or I have it for spending money. Or I count on my checks being my spending money, and all of my tips will go towards savings. And everyone will have to figure out what works best for them. But that's how I have to do it. Your checks will not be high amounts of money, but I guarantee you, if you track how much tips you make a night and you set that aside instead of spending it as you get it, you will make a lot more money than you would assume being a delivery driver. With that being said though, for me at least, all of my gas reimbursements at the end of the night, because you can ask as you're getting checked out and they will tell you you made X amount of dollars for your gas. And so I set all of that aside separately, and I put that just towards going towards my gas when I'm when I'm working. So then usually like my gas, the way our reimbursement works is I get a lot more paid back in my gas than my car takes, because I bought a very like high fuel efficiency car. And so whatever I don't put towards gas, I keep set aside in case my car breaks down, because that was another question I got a lot. Do you have to provide your own car? Yes. Domino's does not provide you any cars or any car assistance or anything like that. So that is the one thing you are 100% responsible for as a delivery driver. You have to bring your own car. You have to insure your own car. Your car has to be registered. It has to pass a safety exam, making sure that all of your lights, blinkers, and indicators, all of that works perfectly. They'll check everything on your car. And if your car breaks down, you are 100% responsible to fix it. Okay. But where I was going with that is being a delivery driver is going to take a toll on your car. It's not going to generally cause, for say, like any more problems that you wouldn't already have, unless you get in like accidents and stuff. Obviously, accidents do happen. So like if you were to get hit by someone else, insurance will take care of that and you're not at fault on the clock. But I have never had, I've had one accident happen in the year and a half that I've worked at all my Domino's. So, I don't know, I don't think it's a very common thing. Maybe my store is just super lucky. But it is going to speed up the normal maintenance that you would need on your car, being you're going to wear your tires out a lot faster. So I've gone through more tires since I've delivered for Domino's than before I ever worked for Domino's. For like the 2 years I was driving before I worked for Domino's. You're going to need to get oil changes more, and probably top off your oil more often. I have gotten a power steering fluid leak since I started working at Domino's, which is something that my car probably would have had, but it just happened a lot faster because I drive so much every day. You're gonna go through a lot of gas, all your fluids, like I said, but it's not anything that's not worth it to me. If you set aside the money in case your car breaks and you have the money to fix it, it's not that big of a deal. But if you aren't doing that, then if your car breaks down, that's your income that's out of the door until your car's fixed. So you are responsible to fix your own vehicle, and if you don't get it fixed for 2 weeks or something, you can't make money for those 2 weeks, which sucks. But like I said, time is money in this job, so you always want to be fast on your feet, not fast in the streets. Your store will probably tell you that a lot. Speeding doesn't get you anywhere. Yes, you want to be really fast, because the faster you are, you can take more deliveries in an hour, thus meaning you get more mileage, you get more tips an hour, but it's not worth it if you get a ticket. You're going to take maybe one more delivery that hour, and then you're going to have to pay a $200 ticket. And speeding tickets, you don't want to get when you're on the clock. It's just not beneficial to you. Just make sure you're really quick on your feet, walk quickly to doors, run back to your car when you're not holding things, walk very quickly in your store, bag your next order, and get out quickly. You want to be really fast on your feet, and it can get pretty tiring at times. You're going to just want to make sure you're always going. If there's orders on the screen, there's an opportunity to make money. So you just want to make sure you're always on top of it, in and out of the store quickly. You'll learn a lot more in your training if you're actually interested in it, like the amount of times that it should be taking you. Your store will always make you aware of like your guys' goals. Okay, so my power came back on. There's a bird outside my window. Power came back on, things went crazy. I don't remember what I was talking about. But I guess I'll just have to cut out anything that I say duplicates of. I guess make sure you bring peppers and cheese. It's really not that hard if you just keep like a Domino's cup in your car. You can keep them both in there. Very few people will ask, like in my delivery zone, not very many people ask, but if you offer them, it's gonna help your tips go up like a lot, because a lot of people just like, they're thrown off by the fact they've never been offered that before, and if it's someone who likes them, they'll really appreciate it. So that's one of my biggest tips, to make sure you get good tips. And just be friendly. Like, I have a lot of people in my delivery area, like I said in my last video, a lot of people have dogs. Be friendly to the dogs. If you're scared of dogs, don't be a delivery driver, because a lot of dogs will come to you when you're at people's doors. But like I said, every store is very different, and I'm gonna like emphasize that a lot in this video, because what happens at my store can be completely different than what happens at your store. But as a general, I've worked in 2 different stores, both within the same district, but they've both been very different, but I've loved both of them. I love working for Domino's. It's my favorite company that I've ever worked for. There's a lot of good opportunity in it, and training is super easy. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. You're gonna, after you get the job, you'll have to do like a day, I think 2 to 3 days of computer training. I can't remember. We've switched our system since I got hired on. But you'll do a little bit of computer training, which does suck at first. Like, it sucks to just stare at a computer, but you learn a lot of very valuable information about the company, and it sticks with you. Like, you get paid to sit there and do nothing, so don't complain about it. Like, you just have to learn and obtain knowledge, and it's not that hard. And then you will do like ride-alongs with a driver that's been there for a while, so you'll just hop in their car, take deliveries with them, see how they do things, and just kind of like learn that, and then you'll start taking deliveries on your own. Which it's really not that hard. I've seen a lot of other videos where people are just like, oh, it's not very much training, like you have to be a quick learner. It's not hard. There's not much to learn. I think most people pick up on it pretty fast, and it's pretty easy to pick up on. So I think that's all of that. You will see a lot. This is kind of like, I don't know if anyone cares to know this, but since I'm sure everyone sees it on like our boxes and everything, as a delivery driver, you never carry more than $20 on you. The reason behind that is if someone were to rob one driver that has $200 on them through the whole night, it's gonna cause more delivery drivers to be robbed, because then there's like more money to get from it. So we don't carry any more money than like $19, $20 on us, so that no one, it like helps us all not get robbed, because what's the point of like robbing a delivery driver if I only have $20? You're not going to get much off of me. So every time that you take a cash order, as soon as you get back to the store, we all have personalized lockers. You will have to buy a lock for your locker, and you put your money and your receipts through it, like in it throughout the whole night. You'll make a drop after every delivery, which I've seen a lot of people say that if you get robbed or whatever, Domino's won't reimburse you money. I've seen that in a lot of videos. I'm sure they won't, because you're not supposed to carry your money on you. You're only supposed to have a sufficient change bank, and not more than that. And they emphasize that a lot, because they don't want us to have a lot of money on us, because then we can get robbed. And it's just stupid. You're not only putting yourself at risk, but you're putting all other drivers at risk if you decide to disobey that and go against it, because like I said, if people think they can rob Domino's delivery drivers and get $200-$300 a night, they're gonna keep doing it. But that's why we don't carry more than like $19 on us. During the week, I barely even have like $14 on me, because you just don't need it. I don't need change very often. A lot of people pay in card or don't need more than that amount of change of like a few ones or a 5. So that's another important thing. I think that's pretty much everything that I have to say in this video. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up so I know to keep making more Domino's videos, because apparently that's what everyone enjoys. My other one like popped off. So if you guys have any more questions, leave them down below. If there's not very many, I'll answer them as they come. But if there's a ton more questions, I'll do a part 2, because I didn't really know what questions to put in this. I just wanted to give you like an overview of everything. I will try and link all my other social media down below. If I don't respond to your comments, maybe send me like an Instagram DM or something. I'd love to chat with all you guys. And I think that's everything. I don't really have much to plug, so I guess I'll see you guys in my next video, whenever that might be. I'm gonna start trying to upload like at least twice a month, if not once a week. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.